Hello. Over a period of several months, I've been trying to regrow shop-bought celery. Having watched other people try to do it on YouTube, I thought I would give it a crack. I've already posted some videos on YouTube on this subject, and what I intend to do today is to update you on progress. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dovetail in some short extracts from those previous videos, and then we're going to go outside and check progress on the celery. I've got to tell you now, there has been a significant development, so you really need to come outdoors with me and check this out. We can't do it right now because it's raining, and I'm not going out there to get soaking wet just to look at a celery plant. But as soon as it stops raining, we're outdoors. We'll update this video and I'll show you a significant development in the regrowing of shop-bought celery. Catch you later. This is my celery. It's been in this pot now for about just over a month. It's a variety called Giant Red. If you're going to give this a go and you've never done it before, a couple of words of advice. The seeds are very small. I've never seen a vegetable seed so small. So if you're going to sow these seeds, you probably will need your glasses on. And secondly, if you sprinkle them on top, don't cover them. Do not put soil on top of those seeds. The seeds need the light to help them germinate. So yeah, go with seeds. These are some celery that I grew in buckets some time ago. I think that variety was called Victoria, and as you can see there are 4 nice heads of celery in that bucket, so we can convert these seedlings into celery plants. Now there is another way of trying to grow celery. I've never done it successfully. I've seen it advocated by quite a few people on YouTube. But I've got to admit, I've never seen a satisfactory result. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to run a trial alongside growing this celery the conventional way. Let me show you what I've done. Okay, we start with an empty yogurt pot. We also need some store-bought celery. We simply cut the bottom off the celery. We then insert some toothpicks and suspend that root in some water in a small bowl like this. That's how it's done usually on YouTube, but I'm doing it this way. A yogurt pot. Let's start with a yogurt pot. Okay. We'll fill that with soil or compost. Now I've already cut the base off a celery plant and I've actually left this sent a few stalks, a few small stalks in the centre growing on. And I've planted it in a yogurt pot just like this. I've simply sat it on the surface, and it stood up about 4 to 5 inches tall, and there's every danger it's just going to fall over. So I've weighted it down with some pebbles, and I've been watering it. And I've been doing that for nearly 2 months. Hey, what do you think of that? Can you see that celery plant okay? Looks good, doesn't it? Now I think what's happened is those leaves have fallen out, but there is definitely some new growth in the middle of that after nearly 2 months. What I want to do now is I want to check that this thing has actually thrown some roots down, and because it's in this container I can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour those pebbles off to start with. Okay, and now we're going to take this out of this pot and check to see if there's any root development. Now clearly we're not going to be eating the roots. It's these things we want to eat. We want some celery stalks. So this would only be a success if this grew some celery stalks, as far as I'm concerned. If it grew a few small leaves, that might be okay for people who want to make smoothies and garnish salads and just have a few leaves. But if you want celery stalks, then this will only be a success if this delivers a celery plant with celery stalks, just like the ones I can grow from seed. So we'll take this out now, we'll see if there's a root system, but that by no means indicates success. All it means is we've got a viable plant here. Are you ready for this? I hope it doesn't fall to a million pieces. Oh yes! How good is that? I hope you can see those roots. I'm fairly sure you can. I'm on the wrong side of the camera as usual, but yeah, so we've got roots. So we'll pop that back in there. I don't think I need those pebbles now, but I'm going to put them on anyway. It might be a good luck charm. We'll grow this on and we'll keep it going through the growing season. See if we get some useful stalks of celery from this plant or from the seeds by the end of the growing season. Today we're going to be planting up some celery. Before we commence this particular video, this is an update of a video that I done a couple of weeks ago, which was an update of a video I done a couple of months ago. And the purpose of this video is twofold. Firstly, we're trying to grow celery, but there's two ways we're trying to grow celery. We're trying to grow celery from store-bought celery, and we're trying to grow celery from seeds. But what I would ask you to take notice of in the other video is the amount of top growth there was on the store-bought celery and the amount of root growth. And as I'm shooting this video a couple of weeks after that video, I think you'll agree that there has been a significant growth spurt in this shop-bought celery. And for that reason, and for that reason only, and to give this celery the best chance of success, I'm going to pot it up into one of these 10-inch water buckets. Let me just lift this celery out. It's still in its yogurt pot, as you can see. And what I've done is I've simply sunk a yogurt pot into the soil in this 10-inch pot, and we're going to take this celery out of this yogurt pot and pop it into that hole and water it in, and the job's a good one, as they say. Okay, now then, I'm hoping that you can see that there's significantly more top growth on this store-bought celery now, and there's certainly some new celery stalks growing in the middle of this plant. So it's looking really healthy. It looks as though it does want to produce a celery plant, but only time will tell, won't it? We'll need to keep growing it on. And yeah, we'll grow it on in this 10-inch bucket. Now let's check the root system out. Wow, look at that. Compare and contrast that to the root system that was on this celery 2 weeks ago. It's really taken off. I mean, this yogurt pot was chock-a-block with roots. So this plant is going to have no problem growing on in this pot now. This celery plant will strike right away. But will it produce any usable celery, or will it just produce leaves? Will it produce some stalks, or will it just produce leaves? Hey, there's only one way to find out. We plant it up. You need to come back further down the line. Check this out. Hey, how easy was that? Now all I need to do is get myself some water and water this in, and that's the shop bought celery planted up. Right, shop bought celery. We'll move this to one side and we'll bring in the seed grown celery. Okay, so this is celery grown from seed. Simply sprinkle the seed on the top. It's light sensitive, so you don't bury this seed, you just sprinkle it on the top. And this is a variety called Red Giant. Let's see what sort of... Oh yeah, there's good roots on that celery. This celery needs to go in the raised bed now, and that's probably what I'll do later today. So I'll just pop that there, and we'll pop it to one side. Now this is some giant red that I've already taken out of that pot and split it off and put it into this pot, and as you can see, it's looking really nice, it's looking really healthy. But I'm going to grow this on in a 10-inch water bucket as well. So let me bring that 10-inch water bucket into the shot. Yeah, so again, I've just sunk this yogurt carton, this yogurt pot, in the soil. Take it out. There's a nice hole. We know this will fit, won't it? All we've got to do is take it out. Right, let's have a look at the roots on this. Oh, we've even got a resident worm. Yeah, there's good roots on this. I have no idea what to expect with this celery, this giant red. Sometimes referred to as soup celery. I've no idea how tall this is going to grow, or how broad it's going to be, and I've no idea if this pot's adequate. The thing is, if it grows too tall, the wind might want to blow this pot over, but we'll only find that out later in the growing season, won't we? So that's it then. So this is celery grown from seed, variety is giant red. Let's see how this celery does compared to the shop celery that we're growing on. First, let's have a look at the celery grown the way nature intended. This is celery grown from seeds. How about that? How about that? This is giant red. I hope you can see that there are some nice celery stalks starting to appear on this plant. So we are actually going to get a head of celery from this plant. We're going to get some edible celery. Okay, nice celery stalks from a celery plant grown from seed. Okay, now let's have a look at the celery plant grown the way nature didn't intend it. Okay, on the face of it, looks a fine plant, doesn't it? Loads of leaves, and I guess if you like eating celery leaves, you might want to claim some success here. This is the celery grown from the celery that was shop bought. But hey, there is a significant development. I'm going to show you that now. But first, let me tell you this. I have not had a single celery stalk from this plant. Not a one. Okay. And it's about at the end of the road as far as this little experiment goes. So we're not going to get any celery stalks from this regrown shop-bought celery. It's just not going to happen. Now let me show you a significant development that makes me confident that that will be the case. Check this out. If you haven't already spotted it, this celery is going to seed. This celery is going to throw up a seed stem that will have a seed head on top of it. It will not produce any stalks of celery. If you want to eat the leaves, but you will not be getting any celery off this regrown, shop-bought celery plant. That's it. That's the conclusion of this little experiment. It's been conducted over several months. I've enjoyed doing it. I was rather hopeful of this celery when it first kicked off because it really did shoot away. But hey, this is a significant development. This celery plant is going to seed. All the energy in this plant now is going to produce a seed head. It's going to produce no celery at all. Well, if you stayed with me through this, I'll thank you for your perseverance. And I'll finish by saying, this is Homegrown Veg, signing out.